In this video, we're going to be talking about using the correct noun and interpreting the meaning of a definite integral. I have two examples to share with you today. In this first example, the temperature of water in a tub is modeled by a strictly increasing twice differentiable function W. And so W is measured in degrees Fahrenheit, and then we have a time factor that's going to be measured in minutes. This is the integral that we'll be interested in. We need to use correct units to interpret the meaning of this. Well, if we integrate a rate of change, we're going to get an amount of change. Specifically, when you integrate W prime, you should be at W of t, and then you're going to be evaluating that from 0 to 20. So W of 20 minus W of 0. We can say that this integral represents the change, or you could use the word difference, that's another possibility, in the temperature of the water, using some fancy chemistry there, in degrees Fahrenheit between t equals 0 and t equals 20 minutes. Things to watch out for. You want to use the word change or difference, but you certainly don't want to use the phrase rate of change. There's no rate here. It's not degrees Fahrenheit per minute. Also, you don't want to just say it's the temperature of the water. It's not the temperature of the water at 20 minutes, for example. That would be 71 degrees. This is the change in the temperature of the water. In other words, the difference between 71 and 55. Okay, so there's our first example. Here comes our second example. In this second example, we've got another data table. In this case, a zoo has sponsored a one-day contest to name a new baby elephant. The zoo visitors deposited entries in a special box between noon and 8 p.m. The number of entries in the box, t hours after noon, is modeled by this differentiable function e. E represents the number of entries in the box, measured in hundreds of entries, and then our time value is measured in hours starting at noon. This is the definite integral expression that we're interested in, and I recognize this as being an average value integral. So, that's how I want to start off my explanation. This is the average value of E of t. In other words, the average number of entries in the box, measured in hundreds of entries, between t equals 0 hours and t equals 8 hours. You want to be very careful that you don't say that it's an average rate. There's nothing rate-like here because our units are hundreds of entries. It's not entries per hour for sure. So we want to be very careful in how we say things. There are many different ways that you can say something incorrectly and only a few possibilities for a correct answer. Remember to speak carefully. Thank you for listening, and as always, enjoy calculus.